Pillars of Islam. It is related to paper 2. Okay, and question number one of the question is set from the pillars of Islam in CI exam. We can have a question from this topic in the CI exam, that how Muslims they carry out zakat. Okay, describe how Muslims they carry out zakat, or the way zakat is practiced by Muslims. So there are two types of questions that could be asked in CI exam from this topic. One could be about the way zakat is practiced. Okay, how zakat is practiced, the way it is carried out by the Muslims. And the second question that could be asked about zakat is how zakat benefits Muslim individual, Muslim community, and how it is beneficial for what are its economic and financial benefits. Okay, so the question could be about its benefits, the benefits of zakat. Okay, and whenever we have to answer a question about that how Muslims they carry out zakat and the way zakat is practiced, so our introductory paragraph should be about the meaning. Okay, first of all we have to define and we have to write the meaning of zakat. We have to define what zakat is, and we must mention that when it was made obligatory. Okay, when it was made obligatory, and we have to add also the importance of zakat in Islam and in a pillar. Okay, what is its importance? Briefly write 2 to 3 main points about its importance. Okay, I will let you know that how you will write the introductory paragraph of this question. So for this topic, first of all, in the first paragraph, as I told you that you have to write the meaning. So what is the meaning of zakat? Zakat means to increase. Zakat means to purify. Zakat means to purify or to increase. ठीक है, zakat का meaning होता है to increase or to purify. Then you have to describe and define it, that zakat is a pillar of Islam, okay, which was made obligatory in a second year of Hijrah. So zakat is a pillar of Islam, and we can say that it's a financial worship. Zakat is a financial worship which was made obligatory in the second year of Hijrah, and it is an act of worship, okay, which was made obligatory in the second year of Hijrah. And here you can quote the Quranic verse, establish prayer and pay the obligatory charity. Okay, so on whom it is obligatory? It is obligatory on every Muslim who possess property equal to or exceeding a laid down minimum. Okay, exceeding or equal to or exceeding a laid down minimum, it is called nisab. So whoever possess amount equal to nisab, okay, nisab, we will later on describe what nisab is. So whoever has the property or wealth equal to or exceeding nisab has to give away at a prescribed rate a portion of it to deserving poor and the needy people. This is how you will describe zakat, what zakat is. So zakat is a financial worship which is obligatory on Muslims who possess property or wealth equal to or exceeding nisab. And nisab के आगे आप ब्रैकेट में ये लिख सकते हैं, वो क्या होता है, a laid down minimum, has to give zakat at the prescribed rate, as fixed and appointed rate, a portion of it to be given to the deserving people and to the needy people. It is called zakat. Okay, zakat is payable on a wealth which remains in the possession of a believer for a period of 1 year. As there is a hadith of the Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, no zakat is due on a wealth. No zakat is due on a wealth unless a year passes over it. Unless a year passes over it. This hadith could be quoted as a reference over here. So now zakat is due on a property unless a year passes over it. Okay, so when it remains in the possession of a believer for a period of 1 year without interruption, and whose value has reached a certain level which is called nisab, which is known as nisab. That is the definition of zakat. Along with that, you have to write the importance of zakat in Islam. Zakat is one of the major pillar of Islam, and you can mention in its importance. Okay, it has been mentioned 32 times in the Holy Quran. Okay, the word zakat and Muslim they have been commanded. Okay, it is mentioned 32 times in the Quran, and most of the time it is mentioned along with prayer. Okay, most of the time it is mentioned with prayer. And here you can quote this verse as a reference that, "O you believe, establish the prayers and pay the zakat." O you believe, establish the prayers and pay zakat. Okay, Aqimus salata wa atuz zakat. Establish prayers and pay zakat. This has been frequently mentioned in the Holy Quran. Okay, this verse could be mentioned. You should mention that it has been mentioned 32 times in the Quran. And one more thing which shows its importance, that Abu Bakr fought against those who refused to pay zakat. Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu fought against those who refused to pay zakat. This shows that zakat is next to prayer. Zakat is similar to prayer. That whoever makes difference between prayer and zakat, okay, use the word prayer or salat in your answer. Whoever makes a distinction or a difference between prayer and zakat, by God, I will surely fight against him. Okay, if others are not willing to support, I will fight them alone. This shows zakat is one of the basic and important pillar in Islam. Fine. That is all about the basic introduction. Okay, the basic introduction we have given in the beginning of the answer, and we can define it in a way that zakat is obligatory on every Muslim, adult, sane, who uh, so zakat is obligatory on every Muslim, adult, sane, who possess amount, who has at least nisab. And here you can define what nisab is. Okay, nisab is, it is 7.5 tola or 87.48 grams of gold, or 52.5 tola or 612.32 grams of silver. This is the minimum which the person, if he has that much gold or silver or amount, okay, or amount equivalent to any one of these, so he has to pay zakat. So zakat is obligatory on the items of use. It is not obligatory on the items of use, but it is on savings. Zakat is paid on the savings of a person. So zakat is paid on savings. So it's not obligatory on income earning. It's not obligatory on the income or earning, but it is calculated on savings. Okay, so that the money will remain. It will keep the money flowing from one person to another person. Okay, it will transfer from one person to another person. So this is how this is what nisab is. You can describe that it is paid at the rate of 2.5. Here we will talk about nisab and rate of zakat. Okay, this will be about the nisab and the rate of zakat in your answer. So zakat is paid at the rate of 2.5% on the total value of your items, whether it is gold, silver, cash, or the goods of merchandise. So whether it is in the form of gold, silver, cash, or any form of goods of merchandise, samane tijarat. Okay, so it is at the rate of 2.5%. So the rate is 2.5% on these items: gold, silver, cash, and the goods of merchandise. So on these items, zakat is paid at the rate of 2.5%, while 10% has to be given on the total production of agricultural land if the land is irrigated by natural means. So there are two types of lands which are irrigated in different ways. One are those which are irrigated naturally, okay, by rainwater, rain-fed areas, or by some natural means like river and streams are flowing nearby. So if it is irrigated, if the land and if the agricultural produce is of land which is irrigated naturally, so 10% of its production, of the total production, will be given in zakat. But if it is irrigated by some artificial mean like tube wells or like some other means, yes, so by some other means, then 5% of it is to be given. Okay, 5%. So agricultural tax is called agriculture zakat, which is paid on agriculture. It is called osher. Fine. So in the second paragraph, in the first paragraph, we had talked about the definition and the importance, meaning, definition, and the importance of zakat in Islam. And in the second paragraph, we can define the nisab and rate in detail. That what is meant by nisab, and what is the rate of zakat on different items. Okay, particularly you have to mention cash, gold, silver, agricultural produce. Second point is about agriculture. First point was about cash, gold, and silver, and on cash, gold, and silver, it is paid at a rate of 2.5%. Agricultural produce has two aspects. Either if it is naturally irrigated, then 10% is given. If it is artificially irrigated, then 5% of the produce is given in the way of Allah Almighty. Fine. On the extract of mines, whatever that has been earned by mines, so 20% of the produce will be given in zakat. 20%. Okay, it means that one fifth of the produce, one fifth of you can either write one fifth of the produce, or you can say 20% of it. That is called khums. Khums is given. Khums is given in the way of Allah Almighty. In the same way, those who have the livestock in the form of cattle, so on 5 camels, 1 goat, that is sufficient. On 30 cows, and okay, 1 calf of 1 year, okay, on 1 calf of 1 year. On 40 goats or sheep, on 40 goats and sheep, we give 1 goat. Okay, from 40 till 120 goats and sheep, 1 goat or 1 sheep is to be given. So just mention the initial amount. 5 camels, 1 goat will be given as zakat. On 30 cow or similar animals, a 1 year calf will be given in the way of Allah Almighty. From 40 to 120 goats or sheep, so 1 goat or a sheep will be given in the way of Allah as zakat. These are the major things that you have to identify in nisab and the rate of zakat. Hope this is clear. In the third paragraph, write about the recipients of zakat. Okay, we can use the word masarif. Masarif. Masarif is the plural of masraf. Okay, masraf means heads of expenditure. The heads of expenditure, that where zakat is to be spent and to whom it should be given. Okay, to whom zakat should be given, the amount collected, to whom it should be given. So Holy Quran has mentioned in Surah Tawbah, Surah number 9, verse number 60. Holy Quran, in her Holy Quran, Allah has mentioned 8 recipients of zakat. Okay, 8 types of people to whom zakat should be given. So you must know the translation of this passage or this verse. Alms or zakat. Alms are zakat. Alms are for the poor, needy, those employed to administer the funds. Okay, those whose heart have been recently reconciled to the truth, new converts. Those in bondage, means the captives. Those in debt, those who have taken the loan and are unable to pay it back. In the cause of Allah. Okay, and to the for the wayfarer, the traveler. These are the 8 different types of people to whom zakat could be given. So it is for the poor, it is for the poor, the needy, those employed to administer the, those who are to there to administer the funds. Okay, the new converts whose heart has been recently reconciled to the towards the truth, and those in the bondage, those in debt, and in the cause of Allah, and the wayfarer. These are the um, 8 different types of people to whom zakat could be given. It should be given to anyone from these 8 different types of people. You have to quote the verse and you have to briefly describe in a single line or 2 lines who they are. So fakir, the poor. The poor, the one who is unable to support themselves and their family. Okay. The miskin are poorer than fakir. They are more poor than the first one. Okay, they cannot fulfill even their daily needs. Fakir is the one who has something but they face difficulty in managing their expenses and they are in need of help and support to manage their expenses. Miskin is more poor. Okay, he is even unable to fulfill his daily needs. Okay, the collector of zakat, those who are employed to administer the fund, means those who collect zakat, those who distribute it, those who are employed and those who are working in organization which are collecting and uh, keeping the record of its distribution. So they are the government officials appointed to the collection of zakat. Okay, they will be given their salaries from the funds of zakat that has been collected. So they will take it as their salary. They will be given it as their salary. The new converts, those whose heart has been recently reconciled to the truth, means new converts. Okay, so in order to bring them close to Islam, so such people could be helped and supported so that they will accept Islam and they will come close to Islam and help and support Muslims. In the same way, slaves or the captives, since there are no slaves, so captives could be freed. Okay, if the master offers his slave to pay a certain amount of money and get freedom, so this slave is known as mukatab, and they can be helped from the amount of zakat so that they can earn their freedom. In the same way, the captives who are unable to pay their ransom money for their freedom could be helped from the payment of zakat. In the same way, people who have taken the loan and they are unable to repay it back. So those who have incurred debts to meet their essential needs, not for their luxuries, but for their basic needs and essential needs, they have taken the loan and they are unable to pay it back, so they could be helped from the amount of zakat. Seventh is in the way of Allah. Okay, because mostly it refers to jihad. So those who are providing their services for uh, fighting in the way of Allah Almighty, and those who are busy in dawah and preaching Islam, and they are unable to uh, get some source of income, so such people could be helped from the amount of zakat. And the travelers. Okay, the traveler might has lost everything whatever he had while he was traveling, because in the early days people were traveling with trade goods. So maybe he faced losses in the foreign country, and at that time there were no travelers check, online banking, or internet access. So they were short of funds. So such people could be helped from the amount of zakat, even they had a lot of money at home. So the travelers could be helped from the amount of zakat. So the third paragraph was about to whom it should be given, the recipients of zakat. Okay, in the fourth paragraph you will write to whom it should not be given. Okay, to whom it should not be given. In the way of Allah means those who are busy in jihad, fighting in the way of Allah, since they were providing their services. In the same way, those who are preaching, okay, those who are busy in dawah. Dawah means preaching, fine. Tabligh means to convey and preach the message of Allah Almighty, and they are not getting enough time to engage themselves in some source of earning. So such people could be helped from the amount of zakat, that is about in the way of Allah, fi sabilillah. In the fourth paragraph, you will write about to whom it should not be given. Okay, to whom it should not be given. Okay, so zakat, it is a tax, or it is a amount that is collected from the Muslims, so it must be spent on the Muslims. Okay, so zakat cannot be given to the non-Muslims. I told you that debt means those who have taken the loan to fulfill their basic need, essential need, and now they are unable to take repay it back. कर्ज लिया, लोन लिया, और अब अपनी किसी ज़रूरत के तहत, मजबूरी के तहत अब वो उसको दोबारा पे करने नहीं कर सक रहे, तो अब उनको हेल्प की किससे की जा सकती है? दे कैन बी हेल्प फ्रॉम द अमाउंट ऑफ ज़कात, सो दैट दे विल बी एबल टू पे बैक देयर लोन. क्लियर? अब ठीक है, तो अब नेक्स्ट इज टू whom it should not be given. किसको नहीं दी जाएगी? तो it cannot be given to the non-Muslims. So since it is a pillar of Islam, zakat is collected from the Muslims and it is distributed amongst the Muslims. Fine. This is one rule. In the same way, it cannot be given to the rich one. Means those who are sahibe nisab, the one who possess nisab. I told you nisab, those who have to pay zakat. Okay, so those who have to pay zakat, they cannot take zakat, they cannot receive zakat because they themselves are rich. So the one who is rich cannot receive zakat. So these are the non-recipients of zakat to whom it should not be given. In the same way, it cannot be given to the parents and the grandparents, children and the grandchildren. In the same way, husband and wife cannot exchange this zakat from one another. The basic rule is that whoever are under our responsibility, zakat could not be given to them. Zakat could not be given to those who are our responsibility. Parents are the responsibility of the children. Children are the responsibility of the parents. In the same way, husband and wife are responsible for one another's help and financial support. So, zakat could not be given to these people. Okay, this cannot be exchanged and this cannot be given to these people. ठीक है, अपने आप में अपने own ancestors, अपने own descendants को नहीं दी जा सकती. Fine, but other relatives should be preferred because in this case the person will get a double reward. One reward is for payment of zakat and the second reward is for helping and supporting your relative. In the same way, it cannot be given to the Prophet's descendants, the Prophet's family members. साहिब निसाब को तो वैसे ही नहीं दी जा सकती ना. So those who are साहिब निसाब, those who are wealthy, they cannot take and receive zakat. In the same way, it cannot be given to the Prophet's family members, okay, his descendants, because zakat is the filth of the wealth. It is the dirt and the filth of the wealth, and they are very honorable and respected people. So such people should be helped from gifts, from other donations, from other uh, and other forms of. So zakat is since the filth and the dirt of the wealth, so it should not be given to the Prophet's family. But such people should be very much honored. Okay. How we can know? We can know from their family tree. Okay, if they know, if the people know that they are the Prophet's descendant, so such people should not be given zakat. So we must take care, and we must know that they are the descendants. They are from his family member. So we need to take care. In the same way, it could not be spent on the construction. Okay, here you can quote a reference. When we talk about it should not be given to the Prophet's family, you can quote a reference that once Holy Prophet peace be upon him saw Hassan Raziallahu anhu eating some dates given in sadaqah, zakat. Okay, once Holy Prophet saw Hassan eating some dates which were given as sadaqah. Prophet peace upon him said to him that expel it from your mouth. Expel it from your mouth. Don't you know we the Prophet's descendant do not eat sadaqah? Okay, we do not eat sadaqah or zakat. Okay, expel it from your mouth. Don't you know that we the Prophet's descendant do not eat sadaqah? This hadith could be quoted as a reference over here. Okay, it cannot be spent on the construction, furniture, building, okay, well, and bridges. Such welfare work should not be, it could not be spent. It should be given to 8 different people who have been already identified in the Quran, the Quranic verse, which we had already discussed. So these are the men, these are the people. So it cannot be spent on the construction of mosque or construction of any other building, bridge, well, or such type of. It could not be spent on these things. So it should be given to the people who deserve it, and they may do whatever they want to do it from to do from it. They may purchase whatever they need. Okay. So this is how you have to identify. And in the same way, it cannot be given. It cannot be given as a salary of a person from whom you are taking some service. Like it cannot be given to a servant or maid as a salary for the services which we have taken. So it cannot be paid as a remuneration, okay, or a salary for a person from whom we have taken some services. Okay, additional amount could be given to servant, maid, or drivers, or those who are in need of help and support other than their salary. So this is how we can describe that to whom it should not be given and where it should not be spent. That is about the way zakat is practiced. Okay, outline the way zakat is practiced. We can write a short paragraph of its benefit, but that is not the requirement of this question, since the benefits could be asked as a separate question in the exam. So if the question is about how zakat is practiced, so initially you have to write about the basic introduction, meaning, definition, and importance. Next you have to mention and you have to write about nisab and the rate of different things. In the third, you have to write to whom it should be given. Okay, describe in detail after when you quote the verse of Surah Tawbah, and along with that, you have to also describe these recipients of zakat in single line or 2 lines. Then in the next, you can write about that to whom it should not be given and what necessary things that we have to keep in our mind. You can give further more details that you can say that it is not necessary to tell the other person that you are paying zakat. We need to confirm that whether the person deserves it or not. And in the same way, zakat collected from one area, it is preferable that it should be spent amongst the poor and the needy of the same area. But if there is a necessity and need, and like there is a disaster or there is more need in some other area, then zakat, that amount could be shifted and transferred to that particular area, so that their need, like floods. And you can identify like the, like here you can give the example that when Pakistan, in some areas when they receive the disaster because of flood or because of the earthquake, so such people and uh, areas could be helped and supported with the help and amount of zakat. Fine. So zakat, it is not necessary to tell the other person that you are paying zakat. Thus, we need to take and we need to confirm that the person deserves it. And uh, furthermore, you can also mention that we can fulfill their basic needs from the amount of zakat. Like if the person is in need of help in medicine or books or school fee or some type of support, so his needs could be fulfilled from that amount of zakat without mentioning and telling the person that this is the amount of zakat that has been given to him or her. That's all about the way zakat is practiced.